Okay, so I'm going to be starting this session right off the bat. If anybody's got questions, you're going to have to stop me. We only got 40 minutes to complete this morning session. I think you can hear me, so I'm going to start the meeting. And I think you can see the screen too. Anyway, this is being recorded, so everything's fine. Welcome to the London Open. It's money day. We already started the trading day. It's looking good. It's looking good. GBP USD made me a bit of profits today. I'm just waiting for NZD USD and USD JPY, but we're going to speak about this in a second. Let's go over the agenda, which is a 3-point process, let's say, of this workshop. The first thing I'm going to go over is my watch list for the day, which is basically for the UK session. We're going to do another watch list or even update the existing one for the US Open. And also I'm going to go over the trades taken. Then we're moving on to the week ahead. We're going to go over all the major fundamentals and market themes for the week. And finally, we're ending it with a nice little lesson about placing stops and correct position sizing. So my name is Denis. I'm the founder of PipsMatter.com. I started this beautiful business about 4 years, 2016. I worked for many different brokers, managed a lot of people, but I decided to get out of the rat race and do my own work in 2016. Anyway, moving on. So let's start with a very little small bonus lesson about what is a complete system. So I'm working on a course right now about my trading system. The course will be live, I think, in about 2-3 days, maybe 4, on Udemy. I already explained that in a lesson before, but one of the main things that I'm going over in this course is my complete trading system. So what does a complete trading system cover? It covers the following points. Which markets to trade, or which markets can you trade? How do you understand that? By taking the system and doing specific analysis of the basic industry. For example, you want to trade stocks. You go into stocks, depending on which stocks, whether they're small cap stocks, penny stocks, or NASDAQ and blue chip kind of stocks. You check, you basically do a proper review as if you were to enter a trade, and you do that for about 20 to 25 trades. Then you understand if there is an edge. An edge is when you're making money over a series of trades, or if you're losing money over a series of trades. So first you understand which markets you can trade. So far, the markets I can trade with the system are forex, commodities, indices, crypto, and even stocks. I tried small cap and blue chip. I didn't try penny stocks. I don't think penny stocks are good to trade with this, but whatever. Moving on to position sizing. Now, this is a very important thing that we're going to be speaking about at the end of this session. That's basically how much to buy or sell to keep your trading organized. I'm going to speak about this in detail soon. The next thing is entries. When to buy or sell. The next thing after that is stops, when to get out of a losing position, but basically where. I know the sound died out for a second there. I need to fix this new headphones. Let me just connect them to the charger here. 1 sec, you guys can hear me, I think. Just give me a moment. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can. You can hear me. Okay. Let me just connect them to the power here so they don't die out. Hold on. Okay, I don't think they're gonna switch off now. I don't know, for some reason here and there they switch off. Okay, so stops. That's where to place your stop order. Where is your dead point? Where do you get out of a trade? A very hard thing to do. We're gonna be speaking about this at the end of the session too. By the way, I'm speaking a bit fast because I want to steamroll through this. Eventually I'll slow down, but this video is gonna be on YouTube, so you're gonna be able to basically watch it. After that is exits. Exits is when to get out of a winning position. That's basically your take profit areas. And finally, the tactics of trading. When do you compound? How do you compound? Do you get out prematurely of a losing or winning trade? All of this is covered in the course, and I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, watch list and trades taken. Let's go over the watch list first. So today's London session is already providing good trading opportunities. The Asian session pretty much is wrapping up now. The UK is opening up. Things are looking good, looking really interesting. So we should see some decent moves within the UK session. I really expect to get some pips on this one, but it's the US session that I'm expecting bigger trading opportunities. As for my watch list, I'm looking at EURUSD, USD CAD, AUS 200, and UK 100. I'm going to show all of this in the actual session when we go to the charts. Let me just write this down so I can remember to do it for you. As for my trades taken, the trades that I've taken is GBP USD sell. I went out of this one prematurely. I'll explain soon why. I'm still riding USD JPY sell and NZD USD buy. So we're going to go over this in detail soon when we go to the charts. Next up, the week ahead. Let's go over the market themes. The attacks which took place in Saudi over the weekend could provide decent market movement on the petrol currencies. If you don't know which the petrol currencies are, they are they're the Canadian dollar, the Mexican peso, the Russian ruble, and the Norwegian crown. These are the 4 petrol currencies, and they move when oil moves. Generally, Brent had a 20% gap up, and WTI had about 15% move upwards. So there was a lot of money to be made on those pairs, whoever was buying, and whoever was selling, well, they lost a lot of money. Tuesday, the UK Supreme Court hearing will begin. I just need to have this open so I can see that I'm actually speaking here. So Tuesday, the UK Supreme Court hearing will take place, and let me just give you a bit more information on that. So on Tuesday, the UK Supreme Court hearing on whether Prime Minister Boris Johnson's prorogation of Parliament was unlawful begins. Now, it is not clear whether the ruling will also be on Tuesday, so we don't know, but the ruling will not basically be a game changer of Brexit, even though it could provide trading opportunities. After that, we've got low-level trade talks, which begin in October, in early October, so we need to watch out for any kind of comments on this. Moving on, we get the Fed on Tuesday. Markets expect a 25 basis points cut without pre-committing to further cuts, but we will see. Trump can always move the markets after this Fed meeting, so we really need to be attentive to our stations, exits, risk management, and everything else on that day. Moving on, we got the Norges Bank, which is the Norwegian bank, central bank. It's expected to hike its policy rate by 25 basis points to 1.5% on Thursday, and the markets basically believe that the rate path will be flattened. So we'll see how that works out. Important news we have, starting with AUD news, which is the monetary policy meeting from the Australian Bank, the Royal Bank of Australia. For me, it's happening at 3:30 a.m. on Tuesday. For the GMT people out there, at 12:30 a.m. Moving on to the next one, crude oil inventories could be important as well on Wednesday. After those crude oil inventories, we have the big Fed meeting, which is basically the economic projections, the rate statement, a press conference, and the actual federal funds rate. Like I said, highly expected that it will drop to 2% by 0.25%. Moving on, we also get on Thursday a big day, starting with a lot of news from New Zealand and Australia regarding the GDP, employment data. We also have the Bank of Japan monetary policy statement, the Swiss National Bank policy statement, retail sales out of the UK, and the UK interest rates and bank meeting without a press conference. So this should be a really big day. Thursday is surely Super Thursday. Thursday is also Norwegian monetary policy, so that should be a big trading day. Okay, we're done. Let's go over placing stops. We'll go over a lesson, and then we'll go straight into the charts so I can show you what's up. We've done all of this in 10 minutes, so we have about 30 to go. Now, one very hard skill to acquire in trading is to know exactly when to cut a trade, a loser or a winner, or even reverse your trade idea, meaning you start losing on a trade, you close it, and you start buying and actually capitalize on the move up. Very hard to do. Why? Because the last time we actually have complete clarity of the markets, of actually scouting it independently and checking both the upside and downside potential, is before we enter a trade. Shortly, I'll explain exactly how I have adapted my system and improved it to do just that. moving on the other side, structured position sizing is what we spoke about before. That is where you basically trade like a professional and not randomly. It shows you that you're in this game for the long run and not just gambling it on home runs every day. I used to do that a lot before. I was so confident in myself, I just go all in on trades, and that really stung me. The elephant trades do exist. Elephant trades are those big profit potential trades where the market just moves into your favor straight away and reaches your TP in no time. But we need to know when to take those trades and exactly how to trade them. My course and the community is being adapted to just that. So let me show you how it's done. We're going on into the charts. Let's start with a review of GBP USD. Here's my trade. I exited somewhere down here. I didn't take many pips. The take profit was moved up, even though there is high chances of it coming a bit down. The EMA is coming up. I'm out of this trade. I'm removing this. I'm done for now. So there is a lot of good indications of price action moving south here and just going down, possibly even to this green level here, which is 123.820. That's this level here. On the other side, this is where I moved my TP from here, but I still went up prematurely. Let's go over to USD JPY. So USD JPY currently has this big gap here that could be filled. Initially, I wanted to enter the trade up here based on this head and shoulders pattern. Right now, what I see happening is the EMA is being tested for the second time. This is a fresh new 4-hour candle, still about an hour and 47 minutes to go for a new candle. We could easily spike up here and retest this level here and basically fill this gap. Usually gaps are filled, and when they're filled, price action starts going down. It happens a lot in forex. Most of the gaps are usually filled very quickly, such as here. Bring your attention over here. There was a gap, and price action went up, 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 and then boom, 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 down. So something similar could happen, even though I entered the trade here, because sometimes gaps take weeks, even months to be filled. I think that there is a good chance of price action moving lower from this EMA here. Otherwise, if it comes up here and starts breaking this level, I'm basically going to get out of this trade and I'll wait for a new entry. The trade looks really solid because we have a contraction. We have a key trading level right there at the contraction. We have a head and shoulders in the 1-hour chart, and we have a breakout of the contraction. It looks like a really solid trade, and I'm looking to bank about 97 pips over here without compounding. With compounding, even more. So I'm going through the scouting right now. So NZD USD breakout here of this contraction. These little boxes here indicate key trading levels where price action could stop. The green level is the 50% of this major contraction, which I found on the daily chart, this black level here. That's the 50%. It comes close to this key trading level. So that's what I'm going to try and hold. It's a bit far away, 151 pips, but the daily range of NZD USD is a bit large. So it could really work out. Now, it's time to go over stop losses. Let me explain to you how we would do this. So let's start with a fresh trade and a fresh chart. Let me actually show it to you here. So basically, if you've seen any of my recent videos released yesterday, you would see the new addition to the trading system, which is adding key trading levels based on the Dow chain channel lows and highs on the daily and 4-hour. So how did I enter this trade? I basically set my stop loss right above this key trading level. Even though there have been spikes here and here, I think that it was maxed out based on this level here. And that's how we would set a basic stop loss. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over Euro USD and show you if we were to be entering a trade, how we would trade it based on these levels. So I'm going to remove absolutely everything from here, even though I prepared the charts and I'm expecting price action to bounce from here. One sec, says my connection is unstable. Should be stable now. Okay, so let me explain to you. We have a support here based on this low and a straight line of the Dow chain channel. How do we create supports and resistances? Price action spikes down and goes back up and moves away from this, creating this straight line of the Dow chain channel. This would then become a possible key trading level. And as you see, it has become. First of all, here there was resistance, and then there was a support. Then there was support, breakout, resistance, 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 consistently resistance until we had a breakout and then a support, right? Then we went down, We never tested it again until this level here. So right now we're in this range of 111.019 and 110.709 based on this support here. Support, 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 fake out, support, breakout, support, support. What do we see here as well? Well, we see a possible continuation. And I was waiting for this one, and I will release it as a buy right now in the community. So we have a support level, and we have a possible continuation pattern, right? There is support, and there is a continuation pattern. How would we find our take profit? I'm going to show you just that, and then we're going to move into the important stuff of setting a stop loss. Boom. Oh, sorry, we're not going to do that. We're going to take the retracement tool. We're going to take the close of the high. We're going to take the close of the bottom. And where do we have our take profits? 120 is the first one. 161 is the next one. Clearly seems logical because it lines up with this key trading level, this big red one, which is a daily key trading level. How far is it? That's what we want to see. So we understand how long we're in this trade for. So the first one is 48 pips, which lines up with possibly this level here of resistance. Then we have another second level at 93 pips of resistance, which adds up to this level of about 100 pips. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to go in long. I'm going to release this as a trade alert. There we go. And we're going to set our take profit just below the key level there at 92 pips. And the way we're going to set our stop loss. So now check this out. We have a lot of things happening here. We have the EMA approaching price. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our stop loss at about 30 pips, giving us a solid 3-to-1 risk reward. We want to let our trade breathe in the beginning. We're also avoiding this possible little spiky area here by setting our stop loss lower. So you want to see recent price action because this is day and swing trading. You want to see recent price action and set the trade up. Now, let me release this as a trade alert real quick here. So EURUSD buy entry is 1.10700. Oops. Entry 1.10700. TP is 1.11630. I like to circle it up. So that gives us a positive risk reward of 3. A stop loss at 1.10400. Now Intel, bullish continuation. Bullish continuation pattern at key support. Expecting So I'm expecting price to push into new key trading levels, which is basically this zone up here, breakout of this. So above 11105. News Tuesday, Fed meeting. Trade scale. We'll make it an 8 out of 10. There it is. So I've just released it. It's out. It looks like a solid trade, and now I'm going to execute it at my terminal. EURUSD buy. We're looking at a weaker dollar here, so let's see what we can do. Done. I'm in the markets with this trade setup. It's looking good. Like I explained, the way we set. You see, setting a stop loss isn't rocket science. You don't want to waste too much time on it, but you also kind of want to wait for the candles to die out at a specific level. And it seems here that we have this blue major resistance, not major, but important resistance. And if it breaks out, we're surely, going for a test of this area. If this does not break and you see resistance here, you have 3 options. Wait and try to basically, break that level. 2, move your stop loss into profit and secure some pips, or get out. Get out, secure your profits, and move on to another trade. I mean, these are the 3 probabilities that we have to trade with, and they're smart and important to use. Regarding structured position sizing, I would say that the best thing to do is basically if you have $1,000 into your trading account is not to expose your account more than 0.15 lots at any given time. That means even if you open free trades, they can only be 0.05, 0.05, 0.05. Yeah, so that's the way it should work. But that's going to be explained in the course as well. If you want to know about structured position sizing, send me an email at denis@pipsmatter.com. Denis with one N, so that's DENIS @pipsmatter.com, and I'll send you the full little list. I don't have it on this computer. I have it on the other laptop. So in regard to the watch list, we checked Euro USD. We can go over USD CAD quickly. We spotted the trade alert straight away there, and that is just another trade that we just executed. So I banked some pips on GBP USD, freed up my margin, and now I have Euro USD long, which is perfect. And it's already in a nice profit. So you can see here USD CAD, I was waiting on this, and check this out. It came right to this key trading level. Let me show you which one. It has to load first. So you see how I'm setting these key trading levels? You see there's one right there based on this. So we had the high, price action jumped away, and then we kind of know. And this is a new strategy that I'm actually developing. It's called the tops and bottoms strategy. It works. It works really well. So you see we had the breakout, we came to the next key trading level, and we kind of went right back into it. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can? I think you can, because I heard the platform switch off. Anyway, we're going far too back. That was the big lines were done on the daily chart. The small ones that are on the 4 hour. So you can see that we had the gap down right to this level here, and now we're pushing back up. Generally, like I said, we want to see price action stagnate somewhere. So I don't see any key trading levels in the middle of this. So it could range bound between this, but if it drops in this, the next level is this, and then there. We don't have any kind of contraction because you see the bottom is pointing there. So we don't really have a contraction. There is no trade for me to take here. I just had it as a watch list to continue checking it because you know what? The Saudis could come out and say that you know there wasn't a major effect to the oil supply. And if that happens, then this is going to go up because oil is going to come back down. Finally, let's go over to UK 100. UK 100 is creating a contraction here. This is seen on the daily better, this blue contraction. We are at the key trading level. You can see that we're using it as a resistance, but we have this red line here. If we break this level, we should be pushing to the next one here, and then finally come to this one, and then maybe even this one up here. So you can see the levels are set up. And you can trade between these levels, buy and sell left, right, and center. And they're easily done. But generally, this is a trade that's cooking, and I'm going to wait for it. Regarding AUS 200, there is no contraction there, so I'm not going to go over it. I think I provided plenty of value in this session. We went over quite a few things here. One sec, I'm just opening some Euro USD trades. Okay. Let's go over a quick scenario here of what's going on. GBP USD, I'm still expecting it to push down at least to this level here, this black level. But I didn't want to hold it. I needed some margin to execute the trade when we were doing this session. USD JPY is performing good so far. There is still a lot of time, 1 hour and 34 minutes for this candle. I am expecting some resistance here at the EMA. It should work because you can clearly see the EMA has been a support ever since it broke out, ever since it broke up to the upside support, and now we're below it. It should work out. I don't think the gap will be filled. There is too much uncertainty in the world right now with many things, ranging from Brexit to Iran to trade wars, everything else. So this one should move lower. NZD USD is a breakout. We're testing the bottom level of it. We have a key level here because you can see, check this out. So we came here, support, then support, we closed, and then we gapped down. We pushed above it. We're trying to test this level now, which is also a test of this contraction level. And the next push should be up here. If that breaks, then this, we could use this as support. If that happens, I'm going to go long. So I'll kind of dictate the pace of this trade in the community so I can guide people. I think that's it. We don't have to go for 40 minutes. It's morning, it's Monday. We can do something more productive right now. We went over a bit of education. That's it. I'll start the next session at 2 p.m. 1 p.m. GMT, because I have to go grab my son from daycare and take him to his private lessons. So I'll do the next one then. Yeah, so it's going to be 1 hour delay for the US session. If you want to attend it, it's on the website. Thank you very much. I'll see you later in the next session. Have a great day. Bye.